Do you guys have a type? I feel like that's also kind of a weird. It's not a weird thing, but like
people
or a preference.
I like a mixed bag.
I like him like I like my checks mixed.
I like a mixed bag. Give me whatever. I like exotic looking. I feel like it's I like culture, exotic.
I like exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
We can all agree.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Boys like exotic. The boys like exotic.
Survey says exotic.
But I've been outside getting money, I'm on my thug again. Tryna stack a little dub, tryna catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. Way I'm switching lanes, this shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Mentality Pocast. It is your boy Pete. I am here with Papo Taco and my dog, Johnny D.
Johnny
What's
D.
up? It's good to be back.
Johnny, what's good, man? Good to see you. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, dude.
Yeah, so Johnny, I'm stoked to have you here, man.
Yeah.
You and I go back to my Kachina days.
Yeah.
And I really don't think I've seen you since then, right?
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a minute.
How long ago was that?
A couple of years at least.
Dude, I was 21 when I was working at Kachina's. I'm 26 now.
So 5 years ago.
It's been 5 years, dude.
Fucking
I don't
crazy.
think I've seen you in 5 years.
5 long
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've been kind of watching you through the social media. But
Well, hold on a second, because I was going to say the same
I've
thing
been
to
stalking
you, brother.
you a bit.
Dude.
We've all been stalking you, Johnny.
Yeah, I think that's very nice of you to say, and thank you so much, but the role is completely reversed.
Yeah.
I've been definitely keeping up with what's going on in your social media, and quite a bit has changed in your life in the last 5 years.
A lot has changed since Kachina's.
Yeah, man. So for those who don't know, and I'm going to be honest with you as well.
Yeah.
So I'm a Johnny D fan.
Yeah.
But I haven't always been like a Bachelorette or Bachelor fan most of my life, you
It's
know?
usually what my family says too. They're just like, I'm a Johnny fan.
Yeah, bro. That's how I feel.
Johnny does. I like.
Yeah.
So I never really kept up with the show. But once I saw you were on, of course I had to tap in and kind of see what was going on. So I definitely kept in touch through Instagram and social media. Okay, so for those who don't know, Johnny was on season 19 of The Bachelorette.
Season 19, yeah, it was Gabby and Rachel's season. And then after that, I went to Paradise season, I want to say season 9 or 8?
Yeah, 8. I did my homework
today.
It was season 8.
I've checked out. I left the beach and just checked out.
No, that's what you're supposed to do. But no, I did my homework. It was season 8. And you've had, quite the year.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
So what made you go that route? How did you first get involved doing that season of The Bachelorette?
Yeah, dude, funny story. I knew about the show a little bit because of, Tyler Cameron, and he's from here, and we kind of have mutual friends, things like that. So I knew about it. I never watched it. I may have watched a couple episodes, but yeah, long story short is I was in paramedic school, and I got an email one day in class, and it was like, this is the casting director from ABC.
Yeah.
And it was like, we got your application, and we want to put you through the casting procedure. And I was like, this is fuck.
Wow.
You got a random email like that in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So you did apply though.
No, I didn't. I had a buddy.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear. That's what I'm saying. It was so random to me because I'm sitting in class getting lectured, and I get an ABC director, contacting me. So I'm doing my research. I'm looking her up. I'm like, this is a joke. This is a spam mail.
Sure.
Screenshot it, send it to my buddy, and he was like, no shit. I was like, what? He goes, dude, I got drunk and sent an application in.
No way.
And I was like, did you really? And he was like, yes, you have to answer. So rest is kind of history. But
holy shit, that's fucking nuts.
He got drunk one night, and he was like, this would be good for him if he gets on TV. So.
Well, I feel like he nailed it because it does seem like you performed well, and you felt it seemed like you were in your natural habitat. Did it feel like that on the other side of the camera?
Dude, at first it's nerve-wracking as hell.
Yeah.
Because you're not, entertainment has always been even in Kachina when I was bartending, bar backing, whatever, I just loved being around people and things like that, and you're kind of putting on a show.
Right.
So when you get there, it's kind of like you have to have this outgoing energy, but then as soon as those cameras get onto you, those huge cameras, and you're surrounded by boom mics, you're like, holy shit, this is a whole different world.
And I'm assuming it's a pretty serious production. Like it's been around.
I mean,
for a minute.
it's production. You know, everyone's in black, earpiece, like
Wow.
thousands of employees running around, and it's serious.
And so was that first season your first time ever doing anything like that? Your first time?
First time on TV, yeah. First time anything.
First time in front of a camera?
First time in front of it, yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wow, man.
It's wild. But my buddy submitted me, and yeah, the rest is history.
What's your relationship like with that buddy now?
Dude, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
He's on Hometowns, yeah.
Oh, really?
I brought him to Hometowns. Yeah.
Okay, bet.
He was like one thing. If you get to Hometowns, he's like, you got to bring me on.
Was that Perry?
You may have met Perry a couple
Well,
times.
I remembered from my research that I did earlier today. I watched that hometown visit, actually.
That's hilarious.
So shout out to Perry. You did great, man.
Yeah,
Good work.
Yeah. We need more friends like Perry.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right,
funny,
dude?
dude.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy
He
how
was just
that
trying to
worked
get
out.
girls off of it. I mean,
Has it
Did it
worked?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll drop Perry's Instagram handle in the description as
He
well.
would love that.
All right, dude. Well, that's wicked funny. I feel like we skipped over a vital part
Yeah.
of you being here today. This is your hometown.
I'm from here.
Yeah, Jupiter.
Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah,
kind
same.
of like on that borderline right there. So
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
tell everyone Jupiter because it's Jupiter.
Yeah,
You
Jupiter.
know? From Palm Beach Gardens.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's true. Jupiter is the staple.
You know, whatever. I ran around Jupiter enough, so I went to
Yeah.
Jupiter High School, Dwyer. But yeah, I'm from here. Originally, I'm from New Jersey, but I've been living here since I was 13, 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so where's most of your family down here in New Jersey still?
Parents and brothers are here in South Florida, and
Mhm.
then aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone's in South
And did you
Jersey.
say you went to Dwyer?
I did.
What year did you graduate?
2015. You went to Dwyer, yeah?
Yeah, we didn't know each other in high school though,
I
right?
don't
You're
think so,
older.
dude.
I graduated 2013, but we still crossed paths.
yeah,
I mean, technically.
if I bring your name up though, like friends who went to Dwyer, they all know who you are.
I probably sold them weed back
Probably.
then. Yeah, that was my that was my thing at
Wait,
that
you're
time.
yeah, I know.
I was Pete the Plug, baby.
Pete the Plug.
All right, retired though, retired. Well, that's funny. It's interesting that we didn't. What was your life like in high school? I mean, what were you up to
Dude,
then?
I was a terrible student.
Yeah, same.
I went to Cardinal Newman at first freshman year.
Okay.
I was booted from Cardinal Newman. I got kicked out.
It's a nice school.
It's easy to get kicked out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
I've
kicked
heard.
out of school. before.
Yeah, I was kicked out of a couple of schools. Me and like private Catholic schools just did not mesh
I got
well.
kicked out of Catholic school. Too.
Yeah.
What'd you
just-
do to get kicked out?
Dude, I was just a mess. I got first kicked out 7th grade.
Yeah.
St. Martin's. Yeah, I was awful. I was doing food fights. I was
Food fights.
yeah. I was
I've
doing
never
some-
seen a food fight in real life before.
Oh, they're fun.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I
I was
bet.
in one like
Fuck.
mashed potatoes flying.
Wow,
like, things
bro.
like
You think
that.
of that as something that's only in the movies.
No, it's crazy. I've done it. I've lived it.
That's funny.
I stupid shit, dude. I'd fill up me kind of like messed with people. I wasn't a bully, but we would fill up like
Prankster.
plastic bags of water, and when kids were like in the bathroom, we'd throw them over the stalls and like dart out, and they'd be like, "Johnny's here, isn't he?" And I'd get called down to the office, and they'd be holding like bags up, and they're like, "I'm like, ah, fuck." It was me.
Evidence A.
Yeah, you know, a huge roll of tape, 'cause I was taping lockers shut and during break.
What the
I was a
fuck?
menace. I don't know why. I just was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah, but
Um,
Dwyer, I was kind of absent. I was easy to leave school. I mean,
It was so easy.
I don't know
yeah.
if you've ever left, but like,
Every day.
dude, I would just, and I looked old. I had this beard, and
Yeah.
teachers would be like, "We gotta get this kid out of here. He's gotta
Who's
graduate."
that new hot AP guy?
Yeah, dude, I'd be like, I'm actually like 16. I'm supposed to be here. They're like, "Nah,
Yeah.
buddy, you've been held back. You can
Yeah.
go." So I would just
No,
walk
Dwyer
right
was
out.
definitely easy to escape from.
Yeah.
I used to do it every day. I mean, we'd literally leave for lunch every day and go to
Oh
McDonald's,
yeah,
smoke weed in the car,
yeah.
and then walk right back in the front door. And I remember, I think it was Coach Teddy, I want to say was his name. He was the one that would like guard the front door so that if anyone was walking back in, he'd be like, "Hey, why are you just now coming to school?"
Yeah, exactly.
But if you brought him McDonald's back with you,
Yeah.
it was all good.
It was all good.
Damn.
So like if you slid Coach Teddy a McDouble, he didn't ask any questions. He was just like, "Good to see y'all, boys."
Dude, I had a funny story. I'm gonna get him in trouble, but I was in culinary class at Dwyer.
Yeah.
And like I said, for some reason he thought I was held back for like 2 years.
Yeah.
He was like, "Dude, you're too old. You got to get out of here." I'm like, I'm like 16. I'm a sophomore. Like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
And every time I wanted to go, he would write me like a pink slip saying like he has an excuse to leave.
Yeah.
And he would just give it to me, be like, "You're good to go, dude." So I'm like, okay, works, but
Bro, Dwyer was an interesting school.
it was
I think
wild.
I might have told this. I've definitely, I think, told this story on here before. But I had a Spanish teacher for 2 years in high school at Dwyer, named Miss Ferrero. Did you ever cross paths with her?
I know who she is. I took Italian, but I know Miss Ferrero.
If you would have lucked out if you took Spanish with Miss Ferrero, because this lady was. I mean, now that I'm an adult, I've come to realize she was without a doubt on drugs.
Oh, I was like attractive.
No doubt on
You would've
drugs,
liked her.
and far from attractive.
Okay.
She had this weird like flaky skin thing going on in her face, where she would like cake on makeup, but have to like reapply it mid class
I feel like
all the
I know what
time.
you're talking about.
She had some skin stuff going on, which
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
that's okay. But she also was not okay, like in the brain.
Yeah.
I'm convinced it was some sort of amphetamines
Oh,
or drugs
probably,
of some
dude.
kind, because this
Definitely
lady was
Xanax.
cracked out, dude.
She's like a
No,
huge-
she had too much energy for that. It was crazy.
She's a
shit.
huge fan of the show. She's like, fucking Peter.
Bro, it was so. Oh my God, Miss Ferrero, if you're watching this, I love you to death. Thank you for passing me in Spanish 2 years in a row, because I don't know how I would have done it otherwise. But I didn't learn a lick of Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
She would like you'd pick up a paper at the beginning of class when you walked in, and then sit down, and then you could do anything you wanted.
Yeah,
Me
dude.
and Brennan Brown would just play cards every day. Brennan would smoke weed in class.
Dude,
Literally,
people
smoke
would
weed
do
in
that
class.
in class. They
Yeah.
would smoke
Really?
weed and pass like blunts back and forth.
Incredible,
Shut the fuck
Swear
up.
to God.
bro. Dwyer was.
It
Wild.
was, yeah.
Jesus.
You just had to pick the right classes, and you were.
Yeah, you couldn't do it in every class,
No.
but Miss Ferrero's was one of them for sure. But yeah, didn't learn a lick of Spanish 2 years in a row. I didn't get her the second year, because you have to take 2 years of Spanish.
Yeah.
Didn't get her the second year, and I went to my guidance counselor, and I was like,
I need her.
I need you to please switch me to Miss Ferrero's class, because to be honest with you, I don't know any Spanish, because I didn't learn any Spanish the first year with her, and if I don't have her this year, I'm not going to do okay.
I'm not gonna pass.
And I had a cool guidance counselor, so she hooked me up and put me in her class.
guidance counselors saved my life.
Super clutch, right?
Saved
If
my
you have a
life.
good one, it's
I
life-changing.
graduated because of a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
same.
know, bro, they know.
I almost
They-
didn't
they have,
graduate.
like, I by the skin of my nuts, teeth, whatever the saying is, but
Yeah.
dude, barely graduated, and she helped a lot. So
Yeah.
forget her name.
I think
Helped you graduate?
mine was Miss McConaughey, I think. For some reason, that's
Miss
coming to
McCon-
mind.
I don't know. She's gonna kill me too, because she definitely knows. Like, she's been following me. I feel like. She
Shout out
was
to you.
rooting-
You're a real
Yeah,
one.
she was rooting for me.
Yeah, I got caught. I did Algebra 2 on Florida Virtual School
Yeah.
because I hated math and I wanted
God.
the free period, you
Dude.
know.
Geometry.
I tried to cheat.
Failed
that.
3 times.
Me too.
I posted a Craigslist ad.
In high school?
Yeah, for
Looking-
someone to finish my Florida Virtual School class for me.
No way. Did
And
it work?
like I said, I was a drug dealer at the time, so my picture for the ad was me fanning out a big wad of money.
Dude.
Like, as much cash as I had doing the
All
spread
20s.
challenge. Yeah.
all 20s.
And I post the ad, and like 2 days later, actually they almost like set me up. They texted me and were like, "Hey man, I saw your ad. You need someone to do your math class?" And I was like, "Yeah. This is how much I'll pay." Blah blah blah. And they said, "Well, you know, I could help you out, but you should really just try doing the class
my
yourself. You know,
God.
they have tutors and stuff like that to help you." And I was like, "Listen, man, I'm not trying to hear all this like
giving you a lecture.
moral talk.
What are you, my
do you want to
dad?
do it or not?" Turns out it was the school texting me, pretending to be
No
someone following
way.
up on my ad to see
No
if they could
way.
like talk me out of it. And I was such a dick. I was like, "Look, dude, I'm not trying to talk about this. I ran the rounds. Do you want the job or not?" I show up to school the next day and I get called to the office. It's my mom and the principal.
Oh my
And
God.
they have the Craigslist ad printed out with the picture of me holding the money.
Dude, that's the funniest thing ever. That's
Your
a
mom's
story.
probably like, where'd you get all that money?
Well, yeah, I think the drug dealing thing had come out at that point already, I want to say.
She's like, my
Um,
son's a genius.
Yeah, come on, man.
Business,
I'm
like, every-
innovative,
yeah.
bro.
This-
But
oh
it
my
turns out
God.
they have a whole task force looking for people online trying to cheat Florida
Dude, can
Virtual
you
School.
imagine now, like, ChatGPT?
Dude,
Bro,
I was talking
Apple
about that.
Watches even?
I'm going back. I want to go back to college, become a doctor, like, and just
Yeah.
chat GBT my whole way through.
Well, I just
Surgery
saw...
too.
Dude,
Mid surgery.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's bleeding.
What do I do?
How do I stop bleeding?
Yeah.
Okay, do it for me.
Yeah. I just saw something that like the Chat GBT 4 passed like the bar exam to become a lawyer with like a better percentage than the average.
Dude, it cites like papers. It writes like 20-page papers, cites the work for you, does like crazy shit that you need to graduate.
Come on, bro.
Kids are just
But like, all right, so like when you go back and you used to write essays in high school, you know how like they would make you put it in a website and it would check for
it'll
plagiarism.
check for plagiarism. Yeah.
Right.
Would ChatGPT show up?
I don't
in
think so
any
because it's
sense
not like
that?
published anywhere.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we're all writing. Let's say you were writing a essay about Abraham Lincoln, and we all type it in ChatGPT.
Oh.
Write me a 10-page essay about Abraham Lincoln, and everyone submits that. It's gonna be the same.
Do you
fucking
think it
thing.
writes the same essay
Okay.
every time though?
You know what I mean? That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
If you were smart,
if you were
you
smart,
would let it write the essay and then you go back and change it, like the way you
Yeah,
avoided
yeah.
plagiarism in the past.
or collectively get together and just share your answers. Like, we have to
Yeah.
change words, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
a group effort is always the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Okay, so AI is a crazy thing. This is a
AI.
little out of order. I had this on the list for like the very
Sorry.
end of the episode, but let's fucking get into it anyway. AI is kind of crazy,
Oh, you
right?
had AI on the list?
I had AI on
No
the list.
shit.
Yeah, you nailed
Okay,
it.
I love it. I'm
Um,
all over the map, dude.
AI is kind of a crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
And as of lately, it's getting a lot of I don't know, I guess a lot of attention in general, but I would say like with the music stuff coming out and like the
Ridiculous.
Drake and the Weeknd song dropping,
Ridiculous.
can't lie, the song's kind of fire. But I also understand how problematic that is, you know, because as an artist myself in a different capacity, if all of a sudden AI was able to just do perfect tattoos,
Yeah.
They'll be
my style, you know, or whatever artist style you want and just duplicate it, I'd be fucking concerned.
Dude, it's concerning as shit. I
So
mean,
if they can just reproduce songs that sound exactly like your favorite artist at almost an unlimited pace, right? Well, that's kind of scary. So I guess let me make a question out of this.
Yeah.
Do you think action needs to be taken? And I think the answer is obvious when it comes to the music stuff, but like on a grander scale, this is like the first issue we've seen pop up, but there's got to be so many more
There's
coming
so
down the
many.
pipeline,
I feel like that's just like that's like a whole mess that you can get into. Just
right?
it's,
don't even know
I
there's
feel like
an
it's
answer.
beneficial. At the same time, it could be like deadly, just because like the human race in general, like
Yeah,
take jobs away from people,
right,
make music. It can write papers. It can be your lawyer. You know.
right.
Elon Musk said it's more dangerous than nuclear
Well,
war.
And I feel like if not, they've probably already started making, like, I feel like they're going to be used for, like, war and weapons and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
They say they're going to be, like, cops pulling people over, like, AI robots, and that, like,
So
Cameras
crazy.
will be able to be installed, so they'll know everyone.
I think the
doing
big
anything.
concern
Bro,
about
it's pretty
AI,
bad.
too, is eventually is AI doesn't have, essentially, like, emotions in a way.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, like, policing or war, things like that, it's like, you fucked up, you're dead, or you're not. It's just, there's no emotions, and it's just a
Right.
dangerous,
Speeding
it's
ticket.
a dangerous game, you know?
Yeah, it makes it very black and white.
Yeah.
The crazy part with me, like, AI has only been available to the public for less than 6 months.
That's crazy.
Think about that. Less than, think about it in 3 years, 4 years, 5
That's
years.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's why am I blanking out? SpaceX.
Elon?
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Musk. Yeah, his whole thing is like AI is the most dangerous thing to come out.
Because it gets
Yeah.
smarter every day.
Yeah. It
Every
just-
day, it's learning more and more and
Yeah,
more.
dude.
And more.
That shit is scary.
It's listening
bro.
to us right now.
I'm
and
not
it's
gonna
like-
lie.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
That shit's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It got to
It's
the-
exciting. I'm a technology guy. I like
Yeah.
the new cool shit. But it's a little scary to think that it's like got a mind of its own to a certain extent.
Yeah. At like one point, does it become dangerous?
It has feelings or something. I was listening
Or
to-
at what point can we not stop it when we feel like it? You know?
Like what point can it start taking over? You know,
Yeah.
like we don't need humans anymore. We can learn and do.
They
things
realize
on our
that
own.
we're the problem.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And it's
oh,
true.
We gotta get rid of these motherfuckers. They're the
Holy
problem.
shit.
We are the
We
problem.
are, which is not wrong. That would be so
We are
true.
just-
Yeah.
We
Oh
are the
my
problem.
god.
We
Yeah.
are the issue right now.
No, that's pretty crazy. It got to the point where I know they're like putting a hold on the research on AI
Yeah.
because they've been keeping up on it, because it's gotten to the point where it can predict the stock market and it's telling people how to like invest their money
I just saw
on
that
what's
too.
like it's
Jump on
getting
that now,
it's
yeah.
affecting when it starts affecting the government and businesses.
Oh,
That's when they step in.
That's when they step in. They're like,
Starts
yeah,
messing with the money and shit. They're
Yeah.
like, dude, we can't have that.
yeah.
Bro, it's so crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't know. I don't know that there is an answer.
It's too difficult.
It's so complex and like, I mean, like you said, there's pros and cons.
Pros and cons. I think it's really gonna start to mess with people when it starts taking jobs and things like that. You know?
And you could say the same thing about a lot of stuff. You know, like social media is the same way. We've said it all the time. You know, there's pros and cons. There's people that scroll their life away, you know, and miss out on a lot of potential because they're obsessed with social media, or like mental health gets affected by social media because of likes and engagement and shit like that.
Coming out about TikTok and Instagram on how it alters your mind in the
without
way
a doubt. There's chemical reactions going on based off your social media engagement. But also, I don't have a business without it. You know, I literally run my whole business off of my social media.
Pros and cons.
There's pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Yeah. So, you know, just like the AI thing, I don't know that there is an answer to what's right as far as what to do with social media or what's right to do with AI. I think that's above my pay grade, but it's kind of a fascinating conversation because there's so many levels to it.
Just get ready.
Yeah, fuck.
Right?
I don't know how.
Be prepared at least.
Be prepared.
From a guest we had on previously, who also has a podcast, was saying that she uses, it's not ChatGPT, but some other form of AI, to like write her podcast descriptions. And then, I got sent a clip of some form of AI. I don't know what it is or the program that it's called, but will edit podcasts for you.
You can have AI build a website for
multiple camera angles,
Yeah.
and it will identify who is speaking in which camera angle, and you know, to crop them into the frame at that time, and it just automates it and does it in 4 minutes.
Bro, AI can be a superhuman.
Something that takes me 4 fucking days.
They'll do it like that.
4 minutes.
It just blows my mind that there's not someone behind that controlling it. It's like
it's just doing
own,
it. Oh, dude.
like conscious thing. That's
It's hard for me to wrap my mind
It's
around.
really
I'm like
hard
too
to-
stupid
it's
for
like-
that conversation, kind of.
It's like a stone conversation you need to have, or
Yeah.
just I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
You feel stoned when you're
That
having
would
the
be a good
conversation.
Feel stoned when you're having
Yeah.
it.
I'm like, did I smoke? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Okay, so that was a fun one. I've got some more fun ones, but we'll save those towards the end of...
I apologize. Go in the order. I was kind of just spitting shit out.
You know, we're just winging it anyway, but I figured while we were on the topic of AI, we might as well dive into it.
Why not?
But to bring us back to The Bachelor and your TV career...
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I know you as Johnny D,
Yep.
my boy from Kachina.
Yep.
We didn't have a whole lot of, like, relationship conversations during that time together, you know?
No.
Probably none.
Close to none.
Close to none,
Close to
yeah.
none. It's like partying or working. We're just one or the other.
Right.
both.
So that brings to see you, you know, go this route. It brings me to the question of like, have you always been like a relationship guy, or is this like
Is it?
up your alley? You know, like had you not been signed up for it by a friend, does it like make sense to you too, or has it like kind of turned you into that person?
Me and Peter are gonna talk about feelings.
Yeah.
Something we've never
This is
done.
something I said I wasn't gonna do before the episode too, but
Was it something? No, I haven't been like I like dating. I like going on dates, things
Yeah.
like that. But I've had one serious relationship, and that was in high school. You
Okay.
know, so realistically, I would like to think I'm a romantic, but I'm also a hopeless romantic. So, I
what does that mean?
I'm a lost cause, dude. I'm a lost cause. I'm better alone.
I felt like that was super therapist of me to say in that
Yeah,
moment.
what?
So how does that make you feel?
Exactly as a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I just, like I said, I've been in one serious relationship, so I would like to think I'm a romantic. I do enjoy relationships and building new relationships and learning from them, because I feel like I do a lot of that.
Yeah, sure.
You
100%.
know? Just-
Yeah, what did and didn't work.
yeah, getting your heart broken, learning from it, and keep going. But
And you learn about yourself too. You learn about, you know, relationships and how you want to handle them moving forward. But I think you also learn a lot about yourself
you
in
do,
the process.
dude. And I feel like that, like the person who gets you in the end, you go through so much. So when you do find that person, you are like the most well sought out, chiseled. Like you know what you want in life and things like that. So they're getting the best version of you.
No, I agree. It sort of almost takes that experience of troubled relationships or
Yeah.
drama or heartbreak, whatever, title you want to put on it. But it takes like that learning experience to almost get yourself to
for
that
sure.
point where you're ready for that long-term relationship.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said,
Yeah.
season 19,
Season 19.
your first appearance.
Yeah.
I saw a clip today that you and Gabby were sitting on the beach. Okay, so before I actually get into this, break it down a tiny bit of like the premise of the show, because I understand, but I also got a little confused while doing my research.
Yeah.
So your first show that you were on was The Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bunch of dudes and 2 girls?
It's essentially 1 girl, but this season they had 2.
Oh, okay. It's usually 1.
First or second time they've done 2 girls. It's usually 1 with like 32 dudes.
And is this like a blind thing when it occurs? You don't know the girls before you get on the show?
You know a week before you go.
Okay. But at that point, you're already committed to the show.
Pretty much. You can back out if you want, if
Okay.
you don't like them. But a week before, you watch the live reunion, and usually they announce the Bachelorette on that live reunion for the next season, which is your season.
Okay.
So
And so how many dudes is it?
32. We had 32.
32?
32, 33 dudes, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then you're all competing to be in a relationship with the 1, or in this case, 2 girls at the end of the season.
And you're competing to essentially get engaged at the end to one of them.
And so that's part of the show, is that if you make it to the end, the agreement is engagement.
Bachelor, Bachelorette, it's more engagement than anything.
Okay, so, I guess my first set to that question is, being a guy who has only been in one serious relationship your whole life, what made you think that
love
you were
this
ready to
question.
go and get married, dude?
I don't have any. Personally, I didn't think I'd make it that far. It wasn't. It was consciously not in my head. Like I thought, I'll go, I'll give it a shot. I'll probably be gone in a week or 2. Like I'm 25, no one's gonna pick me. Things like that. But you go, and then you start building confidence, and you start rolling, and you're like, oh shit, like this is a possibility. And that's just how it worked. I wasn't thinking about engagement. That was not on my radar. It really wasn't.
You just didn't think you were going to make it
I
that
just
far?
really did not think. Like, I thought I was still going home on night 1 after I said hello. I was like, I'm probably going home still.
Wow.
And then you end up, top 3, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's
Made it
nuts.
far.
Yeah, and you're like shitting your pants. You're like, fuck, I really got to think about getting engaged.
Right. Okay, and so what I was getting at a second ago was I watched a clip where ultimately you wound up having a conversation with Gabby that you weren't ready to get engaged.
Yeah.
And was that, the episode that you left, or is that what led to you leaving the show?
That was the episode I left, I think. I was just, it's like a series, because that episode was right before overnights, and overnights is when you get no cameras, you get to whatever. If you want to hook up, you can.
Okay.
You can, and there's no cameras, so you can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
And before I was gonna go to overnights with her, I was just like, I should just tell her that I don't know if I'm 100% ready, because after that you have to get on a knee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, I don't want to I personally I did like Gabby. She was cool, and I was just like, I'm gonna tell her right now that I just don't know if I'm ready, and let her kind of decide if that's okay or whatnot.
Yeah, right.
So then we talked, and it was kind of mutual at the end, or what I felt like was mutual, and we're just like, maybe this isn't right, and
Right.
I bounced.
Yeah. Well, no, I kind of agree. From being someone who just watched the clip, it came across as mutual. I think you expressed your feelings well, and I think she sort of received it well too.
We had a really good relationship.
Yeah.
Even after the show, we talked a bit and just like, how are you, things like that. So it was really good with me and her, and a lot of off-camera moments were just, we had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
That whole breakup was like laughing too. Like we were just joking around. We were like, I kind of feel bad because fuck, she was cool. She was cool, but.
Well, it's good that you can look back on it, I think, and feel that way. Or also even just as an outsider to hear that there's genuine moments, in this TV show.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
But I guess so. What was going through your head at that time that made you not ready to get engaged? Why was it? Why was that your decision? I
think it became so real to me that there was I think our chemistry was good, and we did like each other, and I think it became really real, and I was like, I don't really know this girl. Like, how am I gonna get engaged? And I was like,
Sure.
if I'm engaged, like, is that it? Is that forever? And
Yeah.
it just everything
should
started.
be.
It should be forever. You know, you're like, I don't want to do this again.
Right.
And then it just started like kind of spiraling, and I was just like, I don't know if I can, like, you know, be that person for her yet. You know, I still don't. I got to figure my life out.
Right.
Got to go back home. I got to take care of what I have to take care of. Do I want to drag this person through it? She was a little older. She's like early 30s, and I was like, she may be better suited for Eric or someone else.
Yeah.
So
then you go on Bachelor in Paradise, which
What's
that
the
I mean
difference?
that is like a
what's the differences?
that's a
Watching
follow up.
Paradise or Bachelor? What's the difference?
Well, that's like a follow up. Everyone that's on Bachelor in Paradise has been on The Bachelor before.
You
is that
have to
correct?
be on Bachelor or Bachelorette in order to go to Paradise.
Okay.
And this one, there's a bunch of dudes and a bunch of girls, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like there's like 72 people who come down
Wow.
to the beach the whole time
Jesus.
span. Yeah, it's like there's like 16 people that come first day, and then 3 days go by. There's a rose ceremony. A certain amount get eliminated. Then they bring another like 4 people, and then they keep
Wow.
bringing people. And
Do you like that one better?
I
Experience-wise?
think experience. Man, Bachelorette was a lot of fun. You just travel so much, and you really do get to go through like some crazy experiences. Paradise is you're just kind of on this beach for a month and a half, however long you make it. But in terms of relationships and intimacy, you're with like that person every day, all day.
Oh, okay.
So,
So how does the concept of that show work? Where you've got so many guys and so many girls, it's not everyone going for the same girl or two.
No, but I mean it happens. You
Sure, there's favorites in the
yeah,
bunch.
you start like talking to someone, and then there's 2 dudes who are like, oh, I want to talk to her, and
Right.
then it's like it's pretty crazy.
That is pretty
It's
crazy.
war.
Yeah, it almost sounds a little
It
more
is war.
intense.
It's like you're on a beach with like a bunch of testosterone and girls, and you're like,
Yeah.
everyone's trying to get with like this one and that one, and
Yeah.
and it's just people are running around crying and shit. It
sounds like a Saturday night at 1-2-3 to Terror. Or something.
right? Exactly.
We love you guys. I'm
There's
just
music
kidding.
going, everyone's on the beach drinking, and there's girls crying, running out. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh
here?
man,
gonna be a
lot
that
of
sounds
process.
pretty wild. And that one takes place in Mexico, is that right?
Yeah, Mexico. Yeah,
Um,
West Coast of Mexico.
okay, so this was only a few months later, though, right?
Yeah, so I left Bachelorette, I want to say early May.
Yep.
March, April, May.
That's what the internet says, at least.
Yeah, that's what the internet says. I don't know. I go off the internet.
Yeah.
And then I went to... Holy shit. And I went to Paradise June. That quick?
Damn, was it that quick? That's not what the internet said to me, but I guess it's been telling me when it aired, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say. I don't know.
Okay, that's
I can't
okay. We won't
remember.
hold you to it. But I guess my question is, what changed between that season and that season that, now here you are signing up again to
Yeah.
potentially get engaged after you weren't ready a couple months ago?
Well, when I came down to Paradise, when I first saw Jesse at the top of the steps, I told him I'm not getting engaged. I was like, I'm not ready. I just left Gabby. Like, I don't want to get engaged to anyone.
Yeah.
And that was a whole thing on the beach. I was having girls come up to me like, why are you here? Like, you don't want to get engaged. And I'm like, you want to get engaged? How old are you? 23? I was like, shut up. You're here. You're here. Why? Same reason. Have fun. Party. It's
Yeah,
paradise.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I respect it.
Yeah, one thing after another, and I met Victoria, and slowly we just started like bonding, and she was kind of more like, oh, I want to be like engaged, and I was like, oh well, I feel like you may be worth it, like maybe
Yeah,
I
sure.
can get ready for you, and you hang out every day, and for hours you're talking, and you're not really hooking up. At least we didn't. There's like a room where you could hook up, but no one went. So you're just having like intimate conversations for hours.
Huh.
So you feel like you've known this person forever.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
30 days in is like equivalent to like a year with someone in the real world.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
phones, nothing. No
No
distractions.
phones?
You get nothing. No, nothing.
Damn.
You are beach with a girl I was there for 30 something days.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, I can see why 30
You know?
days in the beach could be like equivalent
And
to
it's
a
and it's
year.
all everyone's talking about like getting married and engaged, and everyone's talking about dating for 30 something days. You're almost like just your
Wow.
mind. You got this warped sense of mind where you're like
That's crazy.
you're like I'm getting
kinda,
engaged.
bro.
Yeah, I'm doing this shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that is nuts. Now that you think about it, bro, if you were to put yourself in that situation,
Right?
that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's all people talk about for 30 some days. The producers, even the people that work at the hotel, they're like, "Where's your girlfriend? Is she here?" Like, where?
Wow.
Like, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Like, this is. So, and then you come out and you're like, "Oh fuck, I'm in the real world now." You're like, "This we gotta really okay. This is
Yeah,
happening.
we're really doing this.
We're really doing this.
Yeah. And I mean, geographically, even they're plucking people from all over the world, right? So it's like,
yeah.
you also have to consider once the show's over and we're not just plopped on an island
Dude,
together
you have
forever.
to think about. I had to fly to Nashville I was there like every other week. You know.
So ultimately, you wound up getting engaged that season.
In Paradise, yeah, I got engaged. Yeah, one of two couples.
One of how many couples?
I got engaged with Victoria, and Brandon got engaged to Serene. So 2 couples.
Two
Out
couples.
of the 72?
Out of the 72, yeah, 72
Wow.
people. Don't quote me, something like that. But
Wow.
there's a lot of people that came down.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I guess how's the process work? People get eliminated, right? It wasn't like it was just the 4 of you on the island at the end of the show. It's just whoever's ready to get engaged at the end, or
Yeah, whoever didn't get eliminated is there at the end,
Yeah.
and there's a day where you decide all right, are we gonna leave as a couple? It's like the breakup day. Are we breaking up and going home,
Wow.
or are we getting engaged? If you're leaving as a couple or breaking up, you leave that day. If you're getting engaged, you have another 2 days, and you go to overnights, which is nice because that's the first time where you get to spend in a hotel. They take all the cameras away, and you get to really talk to this person one-on-one. And that's when shit gets real too, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no one's watching.
No one's watching, no cameras, nothing. Then you're sitting there and you're and you have the conversation, should we do this? Are we about to get engaged?
You're making it.
And you that's when I feel like a lot of people make their decision.
Yeah. Well, I think that it makes a lot of sense to do it that way, even just because you being one of them. Even you showed up to the show saying I'm not getting engaged.
Yeah, that was my whole
and
thing.
then as the show progresses, obviously things transpire and feelings change, but a lot of that could also be fueled by the cameras being on and the pressure of the show or whatever.
It's very 50-50.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think it's good though that you have that time at the end to have a genuine conversation, because
You have to.
I mean there's got to be
There's
examples
gotta
of
be
people
one
in the
before you get
past
engaged.
Yeah.
of people who wrote it out all the way because they were on the show just to be on the show, and then we're like, I can't do this. You
Exactly.
know? Well, that's good. But how did those conversations go for you guys?
It was good. It was intense. It's 0 to 100, you know?
Yeah, right.
The cameras are there, you're like, ha ha, and then the cameras leave, you're like, all right, what the fuck, are we doing this?
Yeah.
Do you love me? They're like, yeah, I love you. And it's like, I love you too. Okay, well, let's get
Yeah.
engaged.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of surreal to
wild,
think about.
dude.
It's super surreal.
It's it's hard to comprehend. It's
Yeah.
so hard to comprehend, but
I bet.
it's a good time. It's
That's why it makes it a good TV show.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. It's funny too. Like you were saying, a lot of people ask, is it scripted? And I'm gonna tell you, those conversations and emotions and feelings you see, that's all real.
Wow.
You know, there's producers on a show for a reason. They're there to produce.
Right.
But at the same time,
But they're not manipulating the scenarios.
You're getting reality TV. That's conversations were not those are real. Words are real. There's no scripts. There's it's wild.
Well, that's pretty dope to hear.
It's
as
good
well.
to know too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I wasn't even gonna ask you. I know you said I could, but I didn't
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
because
it's-
I didn't know.
But
I think that's really good for people
it's
to
good
hear.
for people to know because that's the number one question I guess. Is it real? Is it scripted?
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
man.
Those conversations were real. Those emotions. Some tears were real. I don't know. But
Sure, yeah.
There's a couple fakes out there crying. But yeah, no. It's
Okay, and so ultimately that engagement didn't. You're not married. It didn't work out.
So that okay? You're not
Yeah.
married. Yeah. No ring.
You
That,
said it, not me, brother.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
No.
The way those conversations went.
Yeah, it was a shit show.
So how long after you were done filming did it air?
It aired September. 2 months later.
And at that time, were you guys still together? Or it was already over by then.
We were still together, but it was becoming rocky. When it first aired, it started to get rocky.
And so
The
I mean,
engagement was almost out of the. Yeah, it was just rocky. You know, it was very what are we? Are we engaged? Are we not engaged?
Yeah.
But we were still talking. I was still visiting her. Still, I love you. All these things. So I very much still together. But
Yeah. So was it? I mean, how does that deal work with the show? I mean, are you not really allowed to talk to people about the relationship until it airs, or, I mean, with your personal family, are you?
You can tell your
do whatever
family. You can tell your family. Just outsiders, they really don't want you talking to. It's hard, dude. It's hard because
I imagine.
you get engaged to this person, and for 3 or 4 months, you're secluded. No one's allowed to know. She would come crying to me every other day, and she's like, I can't tell my friends I'm engaged. This is the worst. I've never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
'cause
I'm
that's-
engaged, I want everyone to know. I want pick like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. You
Right.
know, like I tell your friends I don't know, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to
It
be
was
fair,
hard.
it's what you both signed up for.
Well, something
Exactly.
But yeah, I can understand her point of view also.
It was very like in my head. I was like, well, this is what we were doing. At the same time, I understand where you're coming
get
from.
it, yeah.
It sucks. I understand. I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah, because
Right.
something like engagement or something, that's
It's-
something so special that
Yeah.
you want to tell everybody, man.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
throw
Right?
parties about it. People
Throw
talk
parties,
about
especially
it.
girls.
Yeah.
They want to tell their best friends,
Yeah,
things like that.
It's a
You know,
girl's dream moment.
Get
to the
engaged.
guy
That's
they
what they
love.
want.
And they can't tell anybody, man.
And then so as it starts, the whole thing plays out. When you guys end up splitting up or calling off the engagement, like how does that work in the public eye too? You know, were you allowed to like speak about that the day that it happened, or was there also
No.
like a reunion or something you had to wait for?
I had to wait for the reunion to say
Yeah.
anything, and then by that time there was a huge shitstorm.
Yeah.
She kind of got called out in Italy with a dude, and yeah, it was just a shit show. And then I had to address it on live TV, which
Yeah.
was the most nerve-wracking thing ever.
I can
Really?
only
I
imagine,
bet.
That's
bro.
not my style. I'm not like, I don't, if you, like, say you did cheat, I'm like, all right, like, get fucked. I don't care. We're done.
Sure.
That's it, you know? But I had to go on TV and, like, she cheated, and
Yeah.
it was awful. My
You did a
mouth-
good job, bro.
Dude.
As
it
a
was-
person who
dude.
watched it,
People are
you
like,
did a good job.
They're like, you look so upset. I'm like, no, I was just scared. I was scared shitless.
Yeah, yeah.
My mouth was so dry, I couldn't even talk. I was like, I don't want to be here. So I just want to go home. They're like, you look sad. I was like, no, I wanted to go home.
Well, you said it at one point too, and I remember hearing you say it and going, "I feel that." You were just like, "I'm so uncomfortable right now."
Dude, I had to edit it out, but I probably said it so many times. But like, listen, I'm uncomfortable as hell. You sitting next to me and me saying shit like this.
You said it at one point. I just went, "Yeah, dude, I feel you."
Oh my god! And there's a live audience.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So there's people screaming and clapping, and like I
That's
walked out,
brutal.
people were like, "We love you," cheering, and
Yeah.
she says something like, "He called me this," and they're like, "Oh."
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're looking around, you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing ever.
That is so crazy, bro. I
It's
honestly
like
could
it's
not
like a
imagine.
UFC fight. That's
Oh,
what it felt
man.
like.
And so, I mean, that must have been even worse. You know, it's one thing to get engaged and not be able to like tell people about it, but then for your engagement that now people know about and are probably
Yeah.
stoked about,
Yeah.
is falling apart, and now you can't tell people. Everyone's like, "Oh, congratulations," and you're
Oh,
like,
dude, that
"Thanks
was
a lot."
like when people did find out we were engaged, and we were already like, I already knew she was with this other guy and things like that, and people were like, "Oh, congrats! Like we should meet her." I'm like, "Yeah,
So, wait, so you're telling me
One of these
that-
days.
yeah, one
that-
day."
So you guys were engaged.
Yeah.
Engagement ended.
Yeah.
But you guys people didn't even know you guys were engaged yet because the
Yeah.
episode or so. So by
We're-
the time people found out you guys were engaged,
Yeah.
the relationship was already over.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Damn,
that's so
crazy.
rough.
It's like someone
Yeah.
congratulating you for like a job
that you already got fired from. Oh, jeez. dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
That
that
is
is so
pretty
fucked
fucked
up.
up.
Yeah, it was a rough couple months, dude. That was awful. I think I slept for like a week or two after.
And this
Yeah.
was
Once it was all over.
the end of last year.
We filmed the reunion November, yeah. So
Of last year.
yeah, 2020.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what's going on today?
yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
dude, it's still like I'm figuring out this whole kind of new lifestyle I've been introduced to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's,
You want to keep doing TV?
I would love to get on like a show on Netflix, like an actual show, like Euphoria or something, or
So do like actual acting and get out of
like
reality?
yeah, I mean reality's Fun. You know, I've kind of thrown the idea of possibly going back to like Paradise or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've been talking to people about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Reality's cool, but the whole like dating reality TV show, it's not.
Right.
I did it. It's fun and all, but I don't want to be known for that.
Yeah, sure.
right.
So acting would be cool. I mean, being in front of cameras and things like that, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Producing, production, being on like studio, the lot, and being in Hollywood, it's
Yeah.
cool.
So how involved are you guys outside of like, all right, you guys are action, you know, it's happening, and then what? Like, are you guys involved or have any say in any of the production or
No.
producing?
Nah, dude.
You're just along
we,
for the ride.
we show up, we do it, we work. It's working, you know. We wake up at 8 a.m. We'll stop filming at 4 a.m. Go to bed, wake up, we leave, and then you guys see what we see for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're like,
so you guys don't get to see like a pre-episode?
we're like, holy shit, what are we about to watch? And you guys witness it the same time we do.
Really?
That must be crazy,
Dude, I'm telling you, the
bro.
amount of nerves that go through this, like, people are not okay for the next couple months. Like, your
Oh,
mind is
man.
so,
I bet,
like,
man. I bet.
you know, like, even the whole reunion, I don't know if you've watched it, but it was a shit show. Like, me and her were going at it back and
Yeah.
forth, and I left, and I was like, what are they going to air? Like,
Right.
what did she say that's going to make it? What did I say about her?
Right, and they can really manipulate a conversation by
Dude,
cutting
I mean-
out certain responses.
And they
you
can
know?
do whatever they want. You
She
know?
says you called her this, and then
Yeah.
they cut out you saying, no, it didn't happen that way, and now everyone just believes the narrative of you called her that.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, that, I can't even fucking really imagine what it must be like.
You-
And knowing the audience that it displays to. I mean, dude, I get anxiety about some of the shit I say on this podcast before it airs.
Dude,
They
right?
got
And
like 100 views.
100 people are going to watch this shit,
Yeah.
dude. And,
You got
and I edit
millions.
it. I also do the editing, and I'm still like, I don't know if I should have said that shit, to be honest.
Dude, when I came off this show, like, your social media platforms are getting over 1 million visits a day, and it's like,
That's so crazy.
Million's a lot.
Dude.
It's a big number.
it's wild. Your stories were getting 400,000 or 500,000 plays,
Fuck.
and you're just like, holy shit, I really have to watch what I say and do.
100%.
And then you have all those people commenting at you like you're ugly or shave your fucking eyebrows or some weird shit. You're like,
Yeah.
fucking hate people.
Yeah, you get a lot of love though too, and I will say that
Yeah.
too. After watching like you know, the whole chronological series of, you know, your season
Yeah.
today in a nutshell, it seems like a lot of people had your back
I
for
think
the
so.
most part. You got a lot of like positive support.
For the most part, I feel like I did, so I lucked out.
Yeah.
But it could have went either way.
Yeah,
But I think it could have went worse. So
yeah.
I'm
for
happy
sure.
with it at the end of the day. If I wanted to go back, I feel like I could, and people would be like, cool. If I
Right.
didn't want to go back, they'd be like, I respect that too. So
Yeah, sure. Well, you performed pretty well in both seasons. I don't see why they wouldn't have you
I appreciate it.
back for another, dog.
We'll see, man. Am I looking for love again? I have no fucking idea.
I feel so. Does one exist where you don't have to get married at the end? Can you guys
You
just
don't
like?
have to.
That's such an extreme.
It's
ending.
it's such an extreme
Well, dude,
stranger
in
to marry.
In Paradise, there's the couples that left not engaged are still together.
Yeah.
So it's
Really?
like you almost want to leave not engaged if you truly like that
Less
person.
pressure, yeah.
There's less pressure and you're dating.
You
It's
don't have to
like-
get married, like, or engage right then.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even engagement is still just like, hey, we're engaged, but it's like
Yeah,
that
sure.
fucking ring is pressure, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
100%.
It's not like you're engaged. You're like, this is gonna be my husband, and then you start thinking like, what the fuck is he doing with his life? Things like that.
I guess that's
Right.
what makes it a good show is the drastic.
Big drastic
Thing.
end,
Does
yeah.
he have
you
the
know.
balls to get engaged?
Right. If it was like so
I got the
lax of
balls.
like, well, you want to keep hooking up after the show's over, then
Yeah.
it wouldn't be as nerve wracking.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
If you've had another TV show you would think you'd play a good part in or want to be part of, I know you mentioned like Euphoria or something.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
something.
What type of character would you want to play?
Oh, Fesco all the way, dude.
Yeah, sick.
Fucking Fesco. It's funny, dude. There's a couple producers.
That's what I was thinking.
There's
bro.
a couple producers who came up to me and they were like, "You remind me of Fesco."
That's
and I was just
sick.
like, "That's the coolest compliment I've ever
Yeah,
heard."
that's
Thank you.
dope.
I can do it.
I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, that's so.
But like
funny.
something like Fesco or something would be pretty gangster, just along those lines.
Yeah.
Movies too would be fucking sick, dude. So I went to People's Choice Awards, and I think that really opened my eyes to like acting because I was sitting next to like Ryan Reynolds, which was
Wow.
fucking crazy. But you watch him stand up and give his speech, and then you see his highlight reel, and you're like, "This is the coolest fucking job in the
Right.
world." Are
Hell
you
yeah.
kidding me?
Right.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Man,
It's cool.
I'm still so like amazed with that. Your boy Perry just fucking
Sign me up.
Put you
I
on
wanna
the
know
map,
what he
baby.
wrote in that application.
Oh, dude,
bro.
I don't even know, but he wrote a whole thing.
That's so
Like, I'm
sick.
heartbroken.
You get drunk and be like, I got this.
Yeah, he was like, I came up from the bar wasted last night, 3 a.m. Wrote a whole paragraph on how you're heartbroken. You need to get on the
Oh
show and you
my
want to find your
God.
true love.
That is
Dude,
so
that's so
All
funny.
this
man.
shit, dude.
That's so
Um,
great. You friends with a lot of dudes that still that
Yeah.
you're part of this show or
Yeah.
the reunion or whatever? You guys are boys?
Yeah, for the most part. Dude, the big thing you take away from the show is the friendships you build because you're,
It's a job.
you're not with like the leads the whole time and you're with your boys, 24/7.
Right.
Where at the mansion, we were outside by the pool every day drinking, working out, bar opens at 11. You're good.
Is there any beef?
Our season, not so much. I think, and personally, honestly, that's the reality. People love that shit. You
Yeah.
know, people want to see drama, and
Right.
we didn't have enough of it. And I feel like that's why our stats were not as high as our ratings weren't as good. But
Oh, is that right?
Dude, people love drama. Like,
Yeah.
people want to see that. You know, if you watch reality TV, you want to see someone fight or some shit. You know,
Right,
you want to see something go
100%.
down.
That's why Jersey Shore was fire.
Dude,
bro.
it's Ronnie beating people up in the street. I
Yeah.
was screaming at my TV, let's fucking go, Ronnie.
100%.
He gets arrested. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he gets arrested. But
that was like my entrance to reality TV show.
Yeah.
For
I think
sure.
for a lot of us, probably.
I partied with Ronnie when I was like 18.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool dude.
cool as fuck, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty cool dude.
We were in New York. I was first time in New York. I think I was like underage too. I was like 18 or 19. We went to One Oak. Me and
Yeah.
these 3 girls. And girls get in for free. They get a table for free. They get to drink until someone buys the table. I was with them. I got to go with them. Turns out the guy who bought the table was Ronnie, and like his whole crew.
Oh, shit.
So they came. We're like, "You want us to leave?" He's like, "Oh, you guys are cool. Like, just chill and hang with us." And we just hung out with Ronnie all night.
That's dope.
Me and him were like going back and forth. He was doing his dance on the floor, like his footwork and shit.
Yeah.
He's like this big.
That's
He's
He's like a ball
funny,
of muscle. He had a
bro.
huge diamond chain on. He's sitting there, and me and him got kicked out.
No.
Yeah, me, him, and his buddy got kicked out like 5 in the morning. And the rest is history. I went home.
That's an epic story.
Yeah, but
That's so
crazy. 'Cause I was
That's
obsessed with the
That's
show.
Post Jersey Shore. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was like after. They were still probably filming seasons after that, but
I just saw a like meme or post the other day that they're filming a season now. Someone was just spotted.
I've talked to you know who's like kind of friendly is she's a big fan of the show, Angelina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she reached out. You know, she's a big fan of the show, so we talked for a little bit, but she's
Yeah.
cool. She's cool as hell.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that show is scripted at all?
Some of the producers on Bachelorette worked for Jersey Shore.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
So is that your way of saying you think
It's
it's
hard
legit?
to script something.
I
seems
almost feel
natural.
like it's more legit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They were going out partying and getting wasted, you know, and like
Yeah,
you
you
saw.
don't usually have to stir up a lot of drama when people are doing it on their own. That's
No, that
true.
was like real TV, you
Yeah.
know, like their realest form. I feel like
That's a good.
that's why it was so good.
Yeah, that's
I
a
feel
good
like
point.
That's why it was so fucking
You get a bunch
good,
of 20-year-olds, alcohol. They're all good looking.
dude.
Like
They're all like
what do you need to
22,
script, dude?
23.
Yeah, it's
What do you
true,
need to
dude.
Put a
script?
bunch of cameras in a room, let them fight, let them hook up, let them run around Jersey Shore in the summer. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
It's a shit show. I would love
That's
to be on
awesome.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, so Bachelor in Paradise had a smush room, but they didn't have a
the
camera.
smush
in
room
it,
is
like,
so
Jersey
funny
Shore.
too.
Yeah.
Did you guys smush?
Yeah, did you guys smush?
That's funny.
Yeah, they had one, but no one went in.
Why? It was like just frowned upon.
Dude, there's like cameras and stuff, and
In the smush room?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So
yeah,
it's
well,
I mean, you see it on TV. Like when people do like go in there, you see the cameras in there. You know, you see
Yeah.
them hooking up. So it was very just like you can do it, but it's up to you how you want to portray yourself. And honestly, it's not that big of a fucking deal. I wish I did it just because I feel like no one did, and I'm
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person who's like, fuck it, I'll do
if
it.
no one's doing it, I'm doing it.
Fuck it, I'll do it. I'll take my pants off. So
That's the way I think.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's good for the numbers too.
it's great for the numbers. They're like getting the fucking smush room. You're like,
Yeah.
no, and they're like, yes.
Alright, fine.
Maybe if I go back, I'll jump in there.
That's funny.
You're gonna get a call tomorrow. You're gonna be. Right back.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Dude,
well,
they're
maybe
like-
someone will watch this and be like, "Johnny is a good candidate." for the
We
smush
need.
room."
Will he go in the smush room?
Yeah.
He will.
We got one.
That's awesome.
We got him, boys.
Oh shit. Okay, so I got one more relationship thing
For
that
sure.
I feel like will be interesting to talk about, and then I'll let you off the hook as far as the emotions go.
Dude, yeah.
Um,
I'm having fun.
Cool,
yeah.
me too. So I'm assuming when you come up, or like when you come out of a relationship in
Yeah.
this kind of environment
Yeah.
where you're surrounded by guy friends, you're surrounded by girlfriends, because I'm sure you make friends with some of the girls that you don't end up hooking up
You
with
do.
or having
I'm
feelings for.
friends. Yeah, I'm friends with them.
And I'm sure a lot of these people keep in touch after the show. It probably helps a little bit that you're not all from the same hometown,
Yeah.
but it also has to be pretty difficult dealing with a breakup in that situation where now you have all these mutual friends, you know?
Oh, dude.
And I think pretty much everyone watching, or all of us in this room even, can come from a point where we've been in a relationship that ended, and it makes it awkward with some sort of friend group because, oh, well, we're friends with her, you know,
dude.
too, you know? And
And-
so what was that like doing it on a national scale, you know? The whole world's been watching this.
Dude, it's weird because we have a Paradise group chat from everyone from Paradise season.
Yeah.
And Victoria's in it. I'm in it. And just like even right after the reunion, like it just went ghost kind of. It was just weird. And then if she would text and people would answer, I'd be like, oh fuck, everyone's answering her. I hate this girl.
Yeah, right.
And then I would text, and like some people would be like responding to me, and you can tell she was probably just like, she would like DM like some of my friends like, really, you're gonna side with him, or like I would do the same and just be like, dude, don't listen to her. And it kind of got super just petty, but it fades out. But it's like I said, it's fucking weird because everyone is friends when you leave. Like there's a lot of things you don't see. Like when after we did a roast ceremony, we'd all sit in a circle and we'd all cheers, and then you'd say something like, you guys are like family now, like I love you guys, whatever.
So you get really close.
You get super close to everyone there. If you're not hooking up with them, they're like your best friend.
Damn.
So it's sad. It's sad to see, because it's just sad to see. Brandon and Serene broke up. They just broke up, and then like I reached out to both of them. I'm like, hey, like, are you guys okay? But I can't like really favor one because you're friends with both of them.
Right. So okay, now having gone through this on 2 different shows, have you learned a strategy or a technique on how to handle that type of a situation? Like, is that the right thing to do? Is to reach out to both parties and play both sides of the fence, or how do you handle it?
Fuck, dude.
It's tough.
It's tough. I mean, if you want to be a bro and your boys, then you just stick to bro code. But in this situation on TV, you just met them the same time you met, say I met Brandon
There's
Serene the
history.
same time.
No,
it's not like, so you kind of owe it to both of them. And if they didn't cross you in any way, then I feel like there's no reason to reach out and make sure everyone's okay.
Yep.
And that's what people told me. They're like, I don't hate Victoria. I don't hate you. Like, she did what she did, and you're doing you. So, what are you gonna be mad at that? Right.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a good point too. Is just to kind of be transparent, And if you do feel an obligation to be there for both people, maybe you just tell both people the truth and say, hey, look,
Well, and me and Victoria kind of had that talk with everyone too. Besides, kind of like, if there was any pettiness, there really wasn't, but. We kind of just told everyone, like, we're, like, this is our issue. Don't... Yeah, I said it to everyone on the show. I was like, first of all, like, I don't want to bring you guys into this. This is not your issue. I don't want to call anyone out. Like, this is me and her issue.
Yeah.
So you kind of make that clear at first.
Yeah. That probably helps a ton, too.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, okay, fuck, we don't have to choose sides.
Yeah, right. Take the pressure off of them as well.
Yeah, they're freaking out.
Okay, so once the show wraps up, you've done your 2 seasons now, and you were a huge role in both of those seasons. So, I mean, I know your life must have changed pretty drastically as far as just an exposure level. We see the blue check. We see the Instagram followers, dog.
Going up, all that shit.
We know it's got to be weird going from being in the spotlight like you are to then going back home to, like, normal life. And normal life probably isn't the same as it used to be for you. So how'd that play out? What's it like going from being on a huge show like that to going back home to Jupiter?
So it's funny too, because they kind of do prep you for it. The producers and everyone, they're like your guys' lives will change. You make it far enough. Like millions of people watch the show. We had like 10 million people were gonna watch the first episode.
Fuck.
So they prep you and they're like, just your life will change. And then previous people, Paradise helped me a lot, because people from past Bachelorette were like, this is how you should talk to people, always be welcoming, like try to talk about them too. Because when people come, like, I'm jumping off topic, I'm kind of like fast forwarding, but I guess I should say, yes, when you come off the show, life changes, you come back to people taking pictures of you when you walk by, or taking videos and running up to you and thinking they know you, and it's like, hey, Johnny, and you're like, holy shit, who are you? Yeah. Like, no, you don't know me. I saw you on the show. I loved you, or I didn't like you, and you're like, okay. Yeah. So it's at first it's overwhelming. I constantly thought I had people watching me. It was super strange. Even like, just like being out in a club, like I'd wake up and there'd be a TikTok of me like standing up on like a bar like dancing, and I'm like. Yeah. People would send me like, the fuck you doing? I'm like, holy shit. Like,
paparazzi got you,
bro. It really fucks your head up. It does. But then slowly you kind of get used to it, and then you start to learn how to talk to people. And now when people come up to me in like grocery store or something, you say hi, like, what's your name? It's like, my go-to is like, oh, it's nice to meet you. What's your name? Shake your hand. What do you do? Like, let's not talk about me, but what do you do? Now we can be people. We can kind of talk to each other on a level of like, but it's weird because you are famous in a way, but you're not famous, and it can get to people's heads. I feel like a lot of people, their whole warped sense of reality changes, and
100%.
you know, and then you can get a big head. That's another thing too. My producers, who are my producers, like, please don't get a big head. Like, we love who you are. Like, please don't change, because it can change people.
Without a doubt.
You know?
I think more
I
often than not, it probably does change people.
It does.
It's hard for the fame and attention not to in a lot of situations.
It's true. It's consuming at a point where you have to change, because, I mean, you guys walk outside and, like, there could be people that, like, come by me like, oh shit, like, can we get a picture with you? Sometimes you're on the mood, and sometimes you're like, fuck, okay, let's do it. And
yeah, right.
worst part is, like, getting wasted when you're out.
Yeah.
Dude.
Waking up the next day and be like, fuck.
So I was just at my buddy's bachelor party in Scottsdale, and I was pretty good. You got to be good. So it changes how you go out too. You got to watch what you do when you go out.
Yeah.
Can't get too fucked up. You got to be kind of on point.
Yeah.
One night I just was like, fuck it, let's go. I met some girl, and we were just hanging out, having a good time. The next day I woke up, and, like, even till this day, I'm getting pictures sent to me like, oh my God, you were so funny. There's girls on my shoulders and stuff. There's, like, people all around me. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Like, I watched you fit 3 Corona bottles in your mouth and chug them. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, please don't send that anywhere. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, that is funny.
It's nuts.
Oh, man.
It's good and bad.
Yeah.
There's positives, there's cons.
There's definitely positive and cons to that.
Yeah, there's
sure.
positives and cons, and then it starts to fade, and then you kind of miss it. It's like a bug. You know,
Sure.
it bites you, and you're like, this is sick. And then you go out in public, and not as many people start recognizing you, and you're like, shit, like.
Huh.
And I think that's what I'm struggling with.
Time for that next season.
So I'm struggling with right now is you know, I want to get back to not necessarily like that's cool and all, but, like, feeling like you're doing something. I don't know. It's a weird thing to, like, think about, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think in, like, your short-term future, like, best case scenario, say everything works out how exactly you want it to.
Yeah.
What would be, like, best case scenario for you? What would you like to do next?
So I'm now kind of involved in this whole entertainment world and pop culture and things like that. So I enjoy it. I would love to. I have a clothing line coming out that I'm currently starting right now. So more business ventures for sure, and I can use a platform, you know, and I can hopefully do something with it. But
Without a doubt.
podcasts would be really fun. I enjoy it.
Would you start one of your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't. I
would
think it's
love
a
to
great
start-
move.
I would love to start one. And if I could get into acting seriously, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You know? And
Have you made any, like, real attempts in that direction?
Yeah, so I have a publicist, and she's starting to connect me with, like, agents, and I just had a movie audition.
Dope.
I probably didn't get it because dude, she was like, send me a video of you playing this role. Sent me the script, and I sent it in, and I watched it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, well, you got on a TV show by someone else sending in your application, so maybe you've got a chance more than you think, bro.
Right? I have no clue, but
We need to get Perry on this job. Maybe if we have him start applying to some movies
like,
for you.
Work for me, please.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just
Perry should be your agent.
Right? You got me the best gig ever.
That's so funny, man.
But just to, like, touch on that too is it's really mind fucking in a way, because it's just reality TV, you know. Like, we're no one important, you know. But so I was at the People's Choice Awards, and you're there, and you're sitting around Ryan Reynolds and the Kardashians, and I was, my table guest, you know, was the cast of Grey's Anatomy.
That's so crazy.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, like, I don't belong here. And then you start to really get down on yourself, and you're like, I got to do something, because I want to be here with you guys. I want to be in this world. I want to be involved, but I want to be more important than I am right now.
Sure.
So it's confusing for sure, and you got to just figure it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's an admirable mentality, because it shows, you know, obviously you're hungry and you respect what, you know, those other people around you did to get to where they are. But at the same time, you're in that room for a reason, you know? Like, you don't necessarily not belong because you got invited.
Yeah,
So
I didn't get invited.
Yeah, right.
Did you get invited?
No. So I get what you were saying, and I do admire that mentality, because that's... I mean, it's the mentality you should have, you know, stay hungry and stay ambitious.
Just stay, yeah, it's... I
But
don't wanna be
it
too
also
conceited.
speaks to, like, your character, too, you
Yeah.
know? I think, you know, to your point of, like, not changing as you get famous, or, even just how we've talked about how successful you've been on these dating shows that you've been on. I think a lot of that can be tied back to like who you are as a guy, and that you remain very humble and from my opinion, from the outside looking in, as a person who doesn't necessarily know you super well on a personal level. I was impressed and still am impressed, having this conversation with you today about how still Johnny D you are. The guy that I was working with at Kachina's.
How was he as a bartender?
I was bar back.
He was bar back at that time, and
I wanted to bartend so bad.
He was great.
Yeah,
he was great.
Were you there when I got into a fight?
I don't think so,
dude. It was like
everyone's gotten in a fight at Kachina.
Oh, dude.
Who'd you fight?
You don't remember that?
I don't think so.
I don't know if you were working that
Maybe
night.
remind me.
Dude, so we had, I forget her name, McKenna. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a girl there.
There was a girl who was working there. There was a busy ass night Saturday, and she was like, all the security was doing something. They're outside taking care of something else. And she goes, Johnny, like, this kid's peeing on the bar. Can you go kick him out? Peeing on the bar underneath the bar. And she was like, can you help me kick him out? And I was like, fuck. I was like, I just started. Like, really? I was like, this is my first week here. And I was,
some dude's pissing on the bar.
I'm just pissing on the bar, wasted. And I was like, fuck this kid. So I walked out, and they were kind of like going back and forth. And then he like was like, I'm not leaving. And she's like, you have to go. And then he pushed her. And then I stepped in. I was like, yo, you got to get the fuck out. Like, I started getting aggressive. And he was like, oh, what are you going to do, bro? You going to kick me out? Went to hit me. I just punched him. Punched him, put him in a headlock. We're on the ground. People thought I was like a person just at the place. They didn't know I worked there. So they're throwing drinks at us. They're like, fuck these kids, get them out.
Oh, my God.
And the security guard was new. He didn't know me. It was
kicking you out, too.
He came up behind me, choke holds me, almost puts me to sleep. And Ronnie or one of them comes like, that's Johnny, he works here. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting there, I'm like, get the fuck off of me.
Almost puts me to sleep.
Then he dies. Stop.
And he's like, oh, I'm so. Until this day, we're homies now.
That's
and we
so
talk about
funny,
it every time
bro.
I see him.
That's
He's
so
like, remember when I
funny.
almost choked you out?
Oh my God.
They dragged the kid out. I came back, and then everyone realized I worked. Everyone's clapping and shit.
That's a classic.
That was like my first week at Kachina's.
It's like, welcome to Kachina.
Yeah.
It was
was
definitely a welcome to Kachina.
It was like, and then everyone like Spencer was there. And they're like, oh, dude, this kid's he's cool.
Yeah, it was. Little do you know, it was
He
really
can
just
stay.
your initiation.
Oh my God,
staged
right?
the
You guys
whole thing.
staged. You guys had the cameras up. Everyone was upstairs watching the video.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is so sick.
Johnny did good. Johnny did good.
Oh my God.
Johnny and the new bouncer passed.
Choked me out. That was crazy. The first time getting choked out like that. I was like, holy
Oh
fuck.
no, dude.
But yeah, still that kid that was rolling around on the floor at Kachina.
That's funny, man.
But
Yeah, Kachina was fun times.
it was still my favorite place to this day. I liked it.
Yeah,
I
it's
had
a
a good
great
time
spot.
working there. But yeah,
Okay, so I've got a super random question for
What's up?
both of you guys.
yeah.
This one is just genuinely for entertainment purposes. So say you were offered $10 million, right?
I'll do it. Yep. Okay.
You got me?
Yeah, I'll back them up. Give me 5 now.
So you're offered $10 million, but a fly or a mosquito is going to follow you around for the rest of your life.
Oh God, dude.
And if that mosquito catches up to you and lands on you, you die. A terrible death.
Oh, fuck. I can't kill the mosquito?
The rules are you cannot kill the mosquito.
But if he lands and sits on me,
Yeah, you die. A terrible death.
what's the timer? Because, like, what if I just see him and I can... You know,
What
like,
kind
the
of-
second
you
he
can
lands
what?
on me, I'm dead?
Yeah, let's say the moment he makes contact with you, he's got the
Get
stinger
up the
ready.
price, brother. 10 mil?
Up the price, bro. It's $10 million for a
My
mosquito.
What a
life.
fucking mosquito.
Yeah,
this is.
okay. Well, how fast do you think you are? I guess, okay, so like the stipulation
I
would be
can do
the
it.
mosquito is flying at the same pace the whole time. So
Okay.
you can book it out the door, and get a nice head start
Okay.
or something.
This is forever.
Yep,
Yeah. For the rest of your life.
forever.
All right, so...
But you got to keep in mind, while you're sleeping, he's making up ground. You might be in your car
Yeah.
and drive across town, but then you go to bed for like 8 hours, and he's flying. He doesn't go to bed.
Dude, all right, so... What are the
He's
what are
really
the
stuck.
terms and
He's
conditions?
like, I want the 10 mil.
I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
I got you 5.
He's a
do it.
master justifier.
What's the conditions? You can't kill the mosquito?
Can't kill the
Can't kill
mosquito.
him.
He's never going to bed, never going to sleep. He's always chasing you.
Okay.
Same constant speed. I'll make up more rules as we go if I need to.
All right, so I would spend maybe like $500,000 on like
Yeah. Do I get the money up front?
on bug spray. On bug spray.
Yeah.
I would just
Ooh,
pay-
that's
I
a
have to
hard
get the money
one.
up
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's hard.
Yes, money up front.
Money up front.
But
20
then
Like,
you
when
could
you
just
get
be
the
like,
money-
I'll just splurge the 10 mil and have
20%
fun.
down.
Then yeah.
I got to give you the money up front.
All
I
right.
have to.
I
It's a
would-
never-ending game.
I would put every bed I own would have like a mosquito net or something, right? So maybe he's waiting for me.
Ooh.
Then I would
Okay.
bathe myself in like mosquito spray, like roach or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
I think he's immune to that. I have a feeling.
What kind of godlike mosquito do you have?
Because you can't just cover yourself in mosquito spray, so he never wants to land on you.
Okay.
He wants to land on you.
Or I would be like a snowbird, but like across the world. So I would pick
Oh, yeah.
point,
Fly
like
really
Florida,
far.
and the farthest point from Florida where I would like to live.
Yeah,
Like right where
Oregon or
I
something.
would spend like a year timing this mosquito's speed,
Yeah.
knowing that it would take him X amount of time to get here, and that time I'll take a flight to the farthest
the
next
other
location.
opposite. That's probably the best
That's
way to
probably what
handle
I would
it.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But I
don't
would do
know.
it.
That's a
100%.
lot of running, dude.
You're not taking the
I
money.
don't fucking know. That's some
You're taking
that's some
the money,
fucked up
bro.
mosquito, man.
I would be paranoid if
fuck
I
does
just
this
saw other
mosquito have,
mosquitoes.
dude?
Yeah. So the funny thing, thinking about your scenario where you fly across the country and wait until he gets close, you're assuming like you have a tracker on the mosquito. All this, you're just gonna be living
This is
your
getting
life
like intense.
every day, and then 6 months down the road, you're gonna be like, he's got to be getting fucking close. You're gonna be paranoid out of your mind, thinking you're in a restaurant, a fly flies across the room, you're like, fuck, it's time to
Freak out.
relocate.
You're underneath
Pay
your
your tab
table.
and go.
Yeah, dude.
Come on,
I think
Johnny
the
D,
fuck
let's
out of here.
I gave you $5 million to get this mosquito. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's a hard one, right?
That is
It's
Where
ridiculous.
the fuck did you come
Yeah,
up
that's
with
messed
this,
up.
dude?
I listen to a lot of weird shit.
That's like a Theo Vaughn.
Was
fucking
that
question.
bad friends?
It was I don't know, it was some comedy podcast. I don't think it was Theo and I don't think it was Bad Friends, but it was somewhere in that rotation.
Really?
But yeah, I thought that was a hard one too.
That was a hard one. Would
Okay.
you take the money or no? But you're basically saying
I'm
10 mil
taking the money,
and live
dude.
full anxiety.
You're taking it?
I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're like 10 mil, but I'm also paranoid for the rest of my life.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
Anxiety.
think I'll figure out a system.
right, I would spend a whole year.
I could
in
spend
money.
10 mil in a month. I'm not taking it. I could spend that quick.
Ah, God, it's tough. It's so hard.
But
But
now,
I
you got,
think-
now you got a point. Like, what if you run out of the money? You just go, all right, come here, bro.
Yeah, like,
Just
alright,
land.
fuck it.
Let's get,
Well,
let's get it
if
over.
that's
Spend
worst
10
case
mil,
scenario?
You deserve to get bit by the mosquito.
Yeah,
If that's worst case scenario, I think I can last pretty long.
right.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I find it hard to believe if realistically presented with those options, I don't take the money. I think
Especially up front.
I think I'm taking the money.
Right.
It's a lot. Inflation, dude. It's not that much. 10 mil is not that much anymore.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm also
But
not
it's not.
immediately
Yeah.
thinking I'll blow the 10 mil. I'll invest it in things. You know, I'll turn it into more money. I'm gonna live a smart person's life with the money, but just on the run.
I'd rather rob banks for a living.
You'll be on
That'd
the
be
run
pretty
as
cool.
well,
Yeah, but
and probably also die in the end.
more gangster.
That's true,
Mosquito
I
biting me.
guess.
At least I know it's coming.
Okay.
So I'll rob banks. You'll fly across the country.
Yeah, deal.
Yeah. No, I would rob a bank. That'd be.
You'd rob a bank?
Yeah. For 10
I
mil.
thought about it.
Oh well, the crazy thing to me whenever I hear stories about people robbing banks is it's never like 10 mil. It's always like $180,000, $330,000, right?
Right.
And then you go to prison for like 15 years. That
Yeah.
one doesn't seem
Yeah, but
quite
you
worth
rob
it.
a bank and say you get like 10 mil or 5 mil.
But that's what
And
I'm
you go to
saying.
prison
No
for
one's
10
doing
years,
those.
right? And you keep
Well,
the
it's
5
like
mil.
you
That means you made in
Does
10
the
years.
risk
you made-
outweigh
But there's
the-
restitution. If you steal $5 million from someone and you go to court for it, you get sentenced to prison. But they also sentence you to, or give you restitution, which is you paying back whatever you stole. So it's not like they're just like, he got the 10 mil, but we got 10 years. You have to
fuck
pay
that.
back the 10 mil.
hide it in the Bahamas or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can hide it, But there's a bill out there for you.
For sure.
And if you don't pay it, you go back to jail.
There was this group in Europe. They're like professional bank thieves. Have you guys heard about them?
Sounds like
They
a
would
movie
they
I
would
watched.
rob banks mid daylight. Like they made a movie about them at night, whatever, and they didn't get caught. And they robbed over like 500 fucking banks.
Well, that Boston with Ben Affleck, that movie Robin Banks, that's a true story.
Yeah.
What movie?
Ben Affleck, The
oh,
Town.
Your town. The town.
The Town?
Yeah, that's based on a
story.
true story.
That's a great movie.
That's a true story.
Yeah,
some
that's a true
some like
story.
Damn.
Irish gang in Boston. The guy did an interview and he's like, "That's based off of us." Like we.
I didn't know that.
He was actually there's an interview of him in court.
In court with the
Yeah,
judge. He's
with
like,
the
you
judge.
ever seen that movie The Town? The guy's
He's
like,
like-
yeah. He's like, that's me.
He-
And the guy's like, no fuck
He was
way.
like, I'm a complete different charge. He's like, I've done my time. I don't want to go to jail. And he pleaded. It was like I don't know what it was, something minor or
Probably
something
like a speeding
stupid,
ticket or
like a
some
speeding
shit.
ticket.
Yeah.
But
That's
he was
pretty
like,
nuts.
I know. I don't want to go back in there. I did my
Yeah.
time. I'm just trying to be a good civilian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I got another random thing. You
What's
guys
up?
see these boys getting leg extensions? I mean, Johnny,
I
this
did-
might not hit as close to home for you because you're like an adequately
That's a real thing.
tall man.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Yeah, dude, it
That
starts with a
tall?
6. He doesn't even
know
know
what?
this exists.
It's funny though, because this pissed me off because the show they cast just tall fucking people.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, everyone was on the show. People would come to me like, "Oh, I thought you were way smaller." I'm like, "No, that dude was 6'5" next
Yeah.
to me. Like everyone is 6'3", 6'4", 6'5".
You don't think we'd be on the show?
I don't think we make the height requirement.
Dude, there's people who are, but it's wild.
Damn, that's kind of.
But leg extension's a thing.
Maybe like bachelors in tattoo parlors or something.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are way too cool to be tall. It doesn't matter.
I fuck with that.
You guys are too cool to be tall. Who gives a shit?
No, dude.
it would be unfair. if
But
you
it's
were
a
tall.
real thing. You can get this like life-threatening surgery to
I feel like you're making
gain
this
4
up.
inches.
You're making this up.
I swear to God, I'm not.
No,
I
yeah.
swear.
What
It's
am
a
I
real
gonna-
thing.
What am I gonna go from fucking 5'6" to 5'8"?
And bro, the crazy thing is, there are examples of people out there who have done that. Went from 5'2" to 5'6",
And what?
and you're still short. You know?
So is that like, yeah, now you can fuck
Now
her.
you can fuck her.
Now you can fuck her.
buddy.
That should
She's
be like
6'1". You still
the
get
only
fucking-
reason is like, yeah, I want to fuck her. She only fucks 6'4".
Yeah,
Inflation.
bro. So yeah, it's 4 inches you gain. I'm not an expert on the process, but my understanding is like they break your femur bones.
I heard it's very femur's the most
the hardest bone to
the
break.
hardest bone.
Yeah, it's a brutal fucking surgery.
Nah.
They break your femur bones
They just add more bone.
and just add something.
Probably like just
in-
titanium
I
rod
don't
or
get how
something.
they compensate for the 4 inches of skin and flesh. I don't know what they do with all
Dude,
that.
they probably like skin graft. Your probably legs look fucked up after.
Ugh,
Because they're
dog.
skin grafting.
rob
They're
banks
putting
with those
titanium
legs.
rods, and then your legs probably snap after that.
Ugh.
Nah.
But you're 4 inches taller.
It reminds me. Ever see that Jack Harlow commercial?
Which one?
He was like, "Hey, did you guys donate to my charity, my fund?" He's in a bar, and all his friends are like, "Yeah, like we did." He's like, "Yeah, I have cancer." Comes back like the next day, and he's like 6'8", and they're like, "Did you just use the money to get longer legs?" And his
No.
legs are like really long.
I've never seen
Dude,
that.
it's hilarious. He's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" He's like, "Dude, you're 6'8" now."
What the fuck?
It's the oddest, funniest commercial ever.
That's pretty great. Well, he knows about the surgery, clearly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
It's a real thing. Yeah, I don't think I'd do it either.
No, fuck that. I can care less.
Especially when the margin's only 4 inches. 4 inches is a
No,
lot.
fuck the 4 inches. The pain.
Puts me at 6'5".
Like,
It's a good height.
yeah, that is a good height. It
But
might
if
be
you're
worth it for
6'1", dude, like, you're already in the club.
You're already taller than like 90% of the world.
I think like average American is like 5'8",
9,
5'10",
5'10".
5'8", 5'10".
Tight. Yeah, I like that.
That's like anything over is considered tall, I guess.
Yeah.
But now, fuck, you gotta be like 6'5" to get someone's attention. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
You're telling me, brother?
It's
5'7".
It's insane.
No, I believe it though, man. And the funny thing too is like you would think the U.S. would be like the first people all over this shit just because of who we are as people.
We're greedy, yeah.
But most of the people I see getting the surgery are like other countries and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I lived in Mexico for 3 years, bro, and the average height there is 5'4" for a male.
So you were
So I was considered tall there, and I would feel it. Like, when I would
Inspiration
go
for
out.
me, dude, is Mark Wahlberg. He's the coolest fucking dude ever, and he's
Yeah.
like 5'8".
Really?
So
Yeah.
anytime I'm like, if I'm coming like in the show, I was like, dude, Mark Wahlberg's got you all beat. And that dude's like 5'8" and can get any girl he wants. So
Yeah, tight.
get the fuck out of here.
I like that. That's
like
good.
like you gotta have that attitude.
Yeah,
One time for the short kings.
Yeah, dude. I'm
I
with
used
you
to
guys.
be insecure about my height, but then I was like,
Nah, fuck it.
dude.
I feel
I
like
embrace
social
that
media has
shit.
changed a lot of shit too. It makes people
Right.
think way more than they should.
Speaking on that topic, have you noticed that there's more BBLs for males now lately? Like a lot of U.S. It was like a study that a lot of guys are getting fake abs, like BBLs and
I didn't know that.
type of like Botox or something like that.
Probably, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, social
there's
media
been over
fucks people
millions.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there's-
believe it.
Like
People hate
Liver
the way
King
they look.
admitted that his abs are fake.
Oh, really?
Did
Yeah.
he really?
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
No
He
shit.
got surgery, man.
I've seen
He said
people
that on a
accuse him
podcast.
of that, but I didn't know he admitted to it.
Yeah, it's his
And
abs
these people are
fake,
making
some
millions off
people-
that shit, dude.
That's crazy. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's an example of it, you know? Like, he literally made his name and fortune, I mean, at least his, like, social media fortune. I don't know if he was wealthy before that. I think he was. But his whole reputation that he has now is based off his body.
Which is roided the fuck out.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not about eating liver every day. I don't give a fuck. I'm not eating liver every day.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried that carnivore diet?
Bro, hell no.
I know people that have tried it and they're like, no, it fucking sucked.
I tried his protein powder.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, the protein powder tasted good, but
Like,
I don't know.
Did it taste like meat?
No, it tasted good. It was
The
like
carnivore
chocolate
diet
flavor or something.
it's
But that's different. Yeah, carnivore
Yeah.
diet and what he does is different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was
the
the
carnivore
same thing.
diet's just like meat and fruit. My little brother did it. He felt pretty good on it. but
Really?
I guess it all dates back to like how our ancestors ate.
Right.
You
It
know,
does.
and it was just clean fruit because essentially vegetables and shit. It's not like you cook it and all the nutrients and everything leave it. You know.
Yeah.
So. I just.
And that a lot of that lines up with what Liver King does say. I mean, I'm not necessarily discrediting it, like everything that he said, you know? Like, I think there's a ton of benefits from eating liver and all that weird shit that he claimed to eat all the time. I think there's, like, science behind that. I don't think he just made that up. But the pitch that he was selling was that his body came from walking on the ground barefoot and eating liver, you know?
Right.
And that, I think, is just a stretch
my
of the truth.
argument to him is, dude, our ancestors had a lifespan of 28.
Yeah, right.
32 in a good year.
Yeah, 32 is considered
Yeah.
ancient, so fuck
Right.
your liver.
Yeah, no, and I see that side of the argument too. You know,
Raw chicken? No, I'm good, dude.
No.
hell no,
People are out here eating raw chicken and shit.
that's insane.
that.
Was that a thing that he ate?
Dude, he's eating everything. Raw testicles,
Bro,
raw
that's
chicken,
so
raw.
crazy.
Like,
And he would videotape it eating it.
it's
which
like
is-
it can't be good. Like, I think we've learned now that, like, you have to cook your food.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
At least your chicken, too.
At least
you
your
know?
chicken.
yeah. At least the chicken, and the balls. You know, raw
Right.
balls.
Raw,
Is,
dude.
you crossed the line.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a little torn on. I guess torn isn't even the right word, but like
Yeah.
I'm glad he got exposed for not being natty.
Yeah.
Because it sort of almost like I don't know, it creates like the wrong type of hysteria. Like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like he was very preachy about you need to do things this way because this is the way it's meant to be done. And then to find out
That he cheated?
he cheated
Yeah.
makes me go like, okay, cool. At least we're not all crazy for not being on board with this guy, you know?
What do you think about it? I feel like bodies are not meant to even look like that unless you have some kind of extra help, which is
It's not
steroids.
natural.
Your bodies don't look like that. You
Right.
know.
We didn't look like
Especially
that.
at-
Our ancestors didn't look like that.
Especially
No.
at his age.
No,
he's
like
yeah.
not a
that's
young
not
guy.
those people you see that are ripped up, jacked like that. They're all on SARMs. They're all on some kind of roid. Half the people I've talked to, like, yeah, I shoot roids. Like, of course you do, because you look like a freak.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, fuck that. I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your take on the way society has? It seems like it's kind of fluctuated over the years, but like there was a couple years ago where like dad bods were almost more popular than the not dad bod.
Yeah.
And now I don't really know where we stand. We might be back
right
somewhere
now,
in the
it's
middle.
tall girls like tall and skinny. I heard.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
make my
MGK
appointment.
looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, I just like one thing some girl said to me. We were talking, and she's like, "Oh, my type's tall and skinny," and I was like, "Fuck out of here. I'm good." Like,
Do you guys have a type? I feel like that's also kind of a weird It's
You know
not a
what I'm saying?
weird thing, but like
People
Or a
ask me-
preference?
I like a mixed bag.
I like my checks mixed.
I like a mixed bag. Give me whatever. I said that too on the show. They're like, "Who do you like?" Like on Paradise, I was like, "Just throw me a mixed bag. Give me one of
that's
each."
so funny.
They're like,
dude.
"I love that answer." I was like, I don't discriminate.
That's pretty funny.
But I like exotic looking. I feel like it's
Yeah?
I like culture, exotic.
I like exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
We can all agree.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Boys like exotic.
Boys.
The boys like exotic.
Survey says exotic. Fuck. Is there any other random shit you guys want to talk about before we wrap it up? I'm down to go in whatever direction.
Anything
we
you
want.
got going on that you wanna talk about?
Clothing line coming out, Hangfest.
That's the name of it, Hangfest?
Yeah, started the company, got it up and running, have people making designs right now. The whole thing behind it was we were like every time we go out every weekend, every Sunday we would get together like super hungover and just hang out on the couch. I cooked, like I would smoke meats, barbecue all day, like we would just drink beer and just watch football or just everyone would just hang out. And
At the TV, at the Bachelor? Or something?
no, just
Or
like here, like just before I went. I started
Alright,
this
cool.
before I went on the show.
Okay.
And my little brother's girlfriend's like, "Yo, this is Hangfest. We're all just hanging out." And then I started making like hats and little shirts, and we would go out to like clubs, and everyone would be like, "I can't wait to Hangfest tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to get hungover." So our slogan is "Sundays are better hungover."
Yeah, nice.
And we
That's
got
a good one.
We got a logo, and we're just designing like sweatsuits, sweatshirts, like comfortable clothing, and it's more gonna be like a lifestyle brand.
Yeah, cool.
You know, so
I dig it.
that's in the works. I'm super pumped about that because we got some like good quality stuff. Like sweatsuits are in right now. You know,
Yeah, I love
sweatshirts,
sweatsuits,
sweatpants.
yeah.
That's what I like to travel in. So
Yep.
Yeah.
that's like the big thing. I'm putting a lot of effort into that, and just more content creation. I'm new to it, so I'm trying to learn how to put videos together, modeling. Just I like to cook, like I said, my cooking videos.
Yep.
So I'm trying to just learn this whole world that I'm in now. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
No, 100%. Well, I think you're maneuvering it really well, and I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast, man, because
Dude, I
it was
appreciate
really
it.
cool to get to catch up with you.
For sure.
And also kind of I mean, like I said, I mean, we spoke about this before we started recording, but just so the people watching can kind of understand too, like I watched a lot of the content revolving around you today.
Yeah.
Interviews and you know, other podcasts that you've been on and stuff
sure.
like that, and I was really excited to get you over here today because I feel like we were able to have a little bit of like a bros conversation. And it was something that I said to Kevin before you showed up today. I was like, bro, Johnny is like one of the boys.
I asked him, I was like,
Yeah.
so what's he like?
Is
Yeah.
this kid
And
fucking
he's like, bro,
weird?
he's
Can
a
I talk
fucking
to him?
bro.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm like,
man, you're
bro.
just one of the bros. And
appreciate that.
I'm glad we were able to kind of have a conversation today from that perspective. And it just kind of felt like we were just kicking it, you
Dude,
know?
it's nice for me too because you go to like I do interviews with like, you know, people who have worked for E-News and People Met, and it's just like it's cool and all, but it's also like
Right.
I can't say the shit I want to say, and
Yeah.
then people get this whole idea of who you are, and then they watch something like this, like, oh, he's the homie, he's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
You're just a
so-
normal dude.
They won't
bro.
ask you about
No, I
mosquitoes chasing you. And
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't wait to. I can't wait
if
to-
E-News steals that one, I'm gonna get a strongly
I'm
worded
gonna-
email
I'm
sent
gonna
their
go
way.
on the next podcast. Like, wait, so guys, $10 million or a
Yeah.
mosquito
Quick
chasing
question
you?
for you guys.
That would be a good fucking question to ask all your
Oh,
boys.
wait.
Listen,
that's-
well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thanks.
Maybe have like 100 million.
I'll just
for
I'll
that.
be like, shout out Peter. Peter. And
I stole it
mosquito.
from someone else too. I
The
don't
mosquito's
remember.
name is Peter.
Well, Johnny, bro, thank you so much, man. It was
I
really good
appreciate it,
getting to
man.
kick it with you, and
man.
thanks for taking the time to come on here and do this.
Pleasure to do this. You guys got a great podcast.
I appreciate
Super
it,
sick,
bro.
Super sick. Represent hometown. I love it.
Thank
Always,
you, man.
Love
Thank
it, dude.
you.
Love it.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of the Millennial Mentality Podcast. We are here in the Biz Inc. with Papo Taco and Johnny D.
Johnny D.
Later,
The
guys.
biz.
But I been outside getting money, I'm on my thug again. Tryna stack a little dub, tryna catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. Way I'm switching lanes.